Yo, what's up guys? Kobe Cheese here, and guess what? Yeah, that's right, I got another champion first impressions and somewhat of a guide here for the new champion Fizz that just came out. And holy crap, I have to say, good job Riot. You guys did a great job. This champion is hella fun to play. Right off the bat, I want to tell you that because it's true. I mean, I think this is one of the most well-designed champions that has been out in a really, really long time. So let's just go ahead and talk about all of his different abilities and how you're going to play him and how he can be built and all that good stuff, and just give you my impressions on whether he's viable or if he's going to be not viable and that sort of thing. Alright, so I think that Fizz will be either a mid or a top laner. So you can either take him to the mid lane and he'll be good against most champions. The reason he can actually lane against AP champions is because of his Trickster ability, which allows him to dodge a lot of incoming projectiles. So if somebody's trying to shoot skill shot nukes at you or just any kind of nuke in general, you can actually cancel out that projectile by using your Trickster right at the right moment, and that'll allow you to dodge that. So one really cool thing about it is that you can even dodge things such as Karthus ult. Now, those are actually really hard to dodge. You have to do it at the exact right moment. So you notice here in this clip, I actually dodged his ultimate, but if you look in the next clip, I don't exactly have the best success in that one because what I did was I popped my Trickster just a little bit too early, and it's a very, very short duration that you are like invulnerable or untargetable, and so you have to do it right before that ultimate lands in order to dodge it. But if you get the hang of this, it's going to be very extremely powerful whenever you're doing harassing and poking and just trying to kill off your enemies. Later on in the game, or I believe this is another one actually, Riven, who was quite strong, actually came up and tried to fight me, and I was able to use my dash, which is his Q, and I dashed through her, avoiding some of her damage right off the bat, and then I used my Trickster to avoid even more of her damage while still hurting her in return, and then I was able to throw out my ultimate and finish her off with a kill. A very large part of the damage that you'll be able to do is going to come from your W ability, and that's actually what I do level up first. The lower your target is, the more damage you're going to be able to do because it does a percentage of their health over the next 3 seconds, of their missing health, sorry. And if you actually activate it, it does even more damage on hit. So this allows him to not have to build AD, but still be a very strong auto attacker. The cool thing is that if you actually dash in close to your target, you'll automatically target them for auto attacks. And so you'll not only do your dash attack damage, but you'll also attack them again, and then you can do the rest of your combos. So there's a lot of really cool combos that you can do with all of your different abilities that make you really put out way more damage than your opponent's going to expect. So let's talk about that for a second. There's a few different ways you can use his dash and then his Trickster and even his W to just maximize your damage as well as reduce the incoming damage that you're going to take. First thing is, you can obviously use it to just initiate from max range and to do some damage. You always want to pop your W so you can auto attack and do that extra damage from the activated W. And so you'll use your Q, go in there, attack him a few times, and you can either use your Trickster to dash back out, or you can just hold it into place to avoid some skill shot damage, and then pop down, slow them down. You can run away without too much trouble. Another good thing is if you're able to walk up to them and attack a few times and get behind them, you can actually dash right back through them to dash back to your lane. So your Q doesn't actually dash to people, it dashes through them. Keep that in mind. So if you're right next to an opponent, dash through them, and then you can continue on that way. Another one is that if you initiate your fight without using your dash, and then they try to run away, dash through them, and then use your Trickster to pop down on the ground and slow them. I like to max my Trickster second. You're not going to be using Trickster as much in the laning phase. The reason for this is because it is a very high mana cost. Try and save it just to reduce incoming damage or to really put in the final blow if you're going to go all in on somebody. Mostly you want to try and use your Q if necessary, or just use your W to run in there, do a couple of attacks. I'll talk about its ultimate in just a little bit, but first off, let's see the different item builds that I like to do on Fizz. They're kind of dependent, but it's generally the same thing, and it depends on how you do in the early game, how much you farm, and if you're able to get a kill especially, and that sort of thing. So the first one is to go for, we'll always go for boots and 3 health potions is what I've learned to do, because you are a melee champion, you don't have any kind of shield or any kind of regenerate, so it's really going to be necessary to have that health potions until you get stronger. Early game, he's actually kind of weak, and the farther you go into the game, the stronger you'll get, of course. So what I like to do is pick up those boots, 3 health potions, and then if I can, I'll go back and get a catalyst and then I'll build into a Rod of Ages. But if you're having trouble early game and if you're forced back early and you need to get that strong laning phase presence early on, then go ahead and try and build the what I call the poor man's Rod of Ages build, and that's 3 Dorans, and you can just pick up a couple of health potions to regenerate your life if you don't have that catalyst. So either way, that should help you out if you're working about the early game. If you can pick up a Rod of Ages, that's obviously going to give you the most health and damage, so that's what you'd want to do. But the 3 Dorans is going to help you more quickly get into your death cap, which is going to be your second item. So there's a lot of different item choices you can go for, but I think that high damage build is always going to be the best here. You can go for Rylays like in the Champion Spotlight. I really don't recommend that though. It kind of cripples his damage, and he doesn't necessarily need the slow as much. He's got 2 different ways of dashing and slowing people already, so that's not too big of an issue. And so what I like to do is pick up that quick death cap, and then I'll be able to run in there, do a ton of damage, and then jump out of there. And Rod of Ages should give you enough HP to handle yourself. Later on, the game shouldn't really last too much longer past that, but you can always go into something else like a Lich Bane after that, which is going to really just multiply your damage by a very large amount. You can also pick up some Void Staff. You can pick up a Zanya's Hourglass. All of those things really work out in him. Just pick up tons of damage items, and the more AP you have, it's kind of like playing a Scion or any kind of bursty damage caster. You just want to put as much damage as possible because he's one of those types of assassins. For his masteries and runes, what I'll do, well, let's talk runes first. On runes, I'll actually pick up a full AP page with Magic Pen for reds, just flat AP on your Quintessence, and then ability power per 18 on yellows and blues. And then on the mastery page, of course, this is going to be new for all of you guys, but on him, I do go for a 2109, and what this allows you to do is just get the maximum amount of extra damage possible. It's really cool because with the new mastery changes, you're able to just give yourself a lot more damage than you would have normally been able to in the past. So just pick up all of the ability power masteries down the line, and then on the utility page, you'll pick up the swiftness, the good hands, and the summoner's insight, as well as improved recall, and that should be good enough for you. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about his ultimate. I feel that his ultimate is super duper strong. It's amazing. In fact, it's a 1-1 AP ratio. Another reason I do like to pick up as much AP items as possible. So the cool thing about it is that it will actually slow down your target. It's a great way to help catch up to people, and it will allow you to catch them. You can jump in there with your Q and all that good stuff. It'll slow anyone around them. So in team fights, it's amazing. It'll knock your target up, slow everyone else down, throw it on to the carry if possible. It is a very, very long range as well. The main thing is that it sucks if you do miss it, so you do need to get used to landing it. I did miss it a few times, and it really kind of just messed everything up when I missed it, and I probably lost a few kills and died a few times just from missing my ultimate because I was expecting to hit it. So don't get too hasty when throwing it out. Make sure that your skill shot is going to land, otherwise you're going to be in a lot of trouble because it is pretty short cooldown in one way, but you know, I mean, it's a very important cooldown to hit. So you're still able to do tons of damage without it. But when you do have that ultimate up, it's like you're really going to bring pain to the enemy team with that thing up. I definitely feel like Fizz will be a viable champion, whatever elo you're in. There is going to be a giant skill gap in him. You're going to see some really bad Fizzes and some really good ones just because of the use of his trickster ability and landing that skill shot from his ultimate. But overall, he does hit extremely hard. He's a great laner against a lot of different champions. I'm sure he's got some counters. We'll learn that as more people play him and start to stream him and that sort of thing. I definitely suggest that if you have enough RP or IP and you like to play a mid or a top lane melee, totally pick this guy up because he's probably the most fun I've had since the Riven release, but even more fun than her in my opinion. So that's all for him. If you guys want to see some more clips, I got this really cool highlights of this last game. You can check it out. It was a couple of kills and sweet clips from some of the people that were playing with me. It wasn't actually me. So other than that, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll see you around for the next one. This is Kobe Cheese. Peace out. Yeah!
I had like 4,000 gold. It's bullshit.
Holy shit, dude! So good! Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm playing!
I love
Oh, you
the
can
bonus
pinch, you
attack
can
damage
pinch
the
those.
towers master.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I love
Oh, you
the
can
bonus
pinch, you
attack
can
damage
pinch
the
those.
towers master.
Oh my god! Oh my god! That was so good.
God, that was fantastic.